Hey everyone, Disturb43216 here, and Merry Christmas. Today we're going to be doing a special review for the holidays. So I was doing some Christmas shopping the other day, and I came across this. We wish you a Metal Xmas and a Headbanging New Year. Now I've heard this CD before, but I finally decided to buy it, and I've been listening to it for the last few days, and I've decided to do a review. This album is a must-have for any metalhead who celebrates Christmas. It's a fantastic collection of songs performed by various artists from tons of different bands, such as Tony Iommi, Ronnie James Dio, Dave Grohl, Scott Ian, the list goes on and on. There's a lot of fantastic artists on this album, and they've come together to make a fantastic collection of Christmas music. Now, for the most part, it's mostly styled like classic heavy metal style, like Black Sabbath, that kind of stuff, like from the 70s and 80s. But there are a few exceptions with more screamy tracks. And for the most part, like, those ones are kind of weird, sort of, I guess. They're not as good as the more classic styled ones, even though typically I like that kind of music better, but in this circumstance, I prefer the more classic sounding ones. So for me, the standout tracks were pretty much all of them, but I had to select a few of my personal favorites. The opener, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, is performed by Jeff Soto on vocals from Talisman, Bruce and Bob Kulick from Kiss on guitar, Ray Luzier from Korn on drums, and Chris Wise from The Cult on bass. It's a very fantastic opener to the song. I do switch it up a bit in some of the things. Instead of saying We Wish You a Merry Christmas, I say We Wish You a Metal Xmas, of course, because that is the title of the album. And it is a very fantastic rendition of this song. Another favorite is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Claus spelled like Claus, like C-L-A-W-S, like a bear. It's performed by Alice Cooper on vocals, John Five from who's performed with Rob Zombie and with Marilyn Manson on guitar, Billy Sheehan on bass, and Vinny Appice on drums. This is a very interesting rendition of the song. It makes it really creepy, as you would expect from Alice Cooper, but it is a very fun version of the song. I really enjoyed this version of the song. Another good song is Run Rudolph Run, with Lemmy on bass and vocals, Dave Grohl on drums, and Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top on guitar. This is a really fun, upbeat version. Well, the song originally was, but it's very upbeat for a metal song. And Lemmy's vocals on this song are very enjoyable. It's a very good song. One of the best songs on the album, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, with Ronnie James Dio on vocals, Tony Iommi on guitar, Ray Sarzo from Quiet Riot, Ozzy, Dio, Greensryche on bass, who's played with a lot of bands, and Simon Wright, who's played with DC and AC/DC on drums. This is a very, very, very well performed song, and it suits Ronnie James Dio's voice very well, and Tony Iommi lays down some sick riffs on this one. It's a very, very, very good song. Another personal favorite of mine is Silver Bells, with Jeff Tate from Queensryche on vocals, Carlos Cavazo from Quiet Riot and Rat on guitar, James Lomenzo, who used to play with Megadeth, on bass. He was with Megadeth when Dave Ellefson left for a bit, and Ray Luzier from Korn again on drums. This is a very, very good song. Jeff Tate's voice is fantastic on this song. He gets some pretty high-pitched notes on this one as well. And another personal favorite of mine is the closer, Happy Xmas, War is Over, which was originally performed by John Lennon, but it has been redone with Tommy Shaw from Styx on vocals, Steve Lukather from Toto on guitar, Marco Mendoza from Thin Lizzy on bass, and Kenny Aronoff, who's played with a bazillion rock bands, on drums. This is a very, very nice rendition of this John Lennon classic, and it is... Even my parents enjoy this version of it, and they're not really into the whole metal scene at all. They don't really like metal music that much. And also, this is the bonus track version, which has a couple of other tracks at the end, including Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with Des Fafara from Devil Driver and Cold Chamber on vocals. This is one of the two screamy tracks on the album. And this is the good one. It's very well done. And it's fun and amusing to hear Dez screaming on this one. I really like this track. Now, the other screaming track, which is what I have to talk about, is the one problem I have with this album, which is Silent Night, with Chuck Billy from Testament on vocals, Scott Ian from Anthrax, and John Denies from Shadows Fall on guitar, John Tempesta, formerly of Testament, on drums, and Chris Wise, again, on bass. And they made this really thrashy, and Chuck Billy's screaming so hard on this one. It's not even a good vocal performance from him. It's like his vocal performance on The Gathering, except just more brutal. He sounds like fucking Cookie Monster. I much rather would have preferred. It would have been a lot better if he used his vocal style that he used on their later albums, like The Formation of Damnation and their latest offering, Dark Roots of the Earth, where it's more singy but still kind of gritty. But he just went over the tops on this, and it just sounded horrible. And then even the guitars from Scott Ian and John Denies, like the tuning on them was kind of weird. It didn't sound very good. I didn't like it that much. And I normally love both of their guitar work in Anthrax and Shadows Fall, respectively. And it just sounded not very good. And they took one of the slowest and quietest Christmas tracks, and I don't know what they're trying to do, make it like a joke by trying to make it super thrashy and fast. It does not work for this song. This is a fantastic combination of musicians on this track, and they would have done perfect on any of the other tracks, but this is the wrong track for them. I'm sorry. But other than that, this is a fantastic album, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who is a metal fan who celebrates Christmas. Well, that's the review, and Merry Christmas, everyone. And if you liked the video, be sure to like it. And check back later this week when I will have my top 10 albums of 2013 video done. I'm still working to put together a particular order of the albums I've selected, but expect that to come out very soon. Happy New Year. Well, no, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year will come in the last video I make this year, which again is the top 10 albums of this year. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone.